Right, what's going on, everybody? We are back with our Dark Souls Remastered walkthrough, all bosses walkthrough. We are now here at Sen's Fortress, ready to progress towards the next part of the game. So in Sen's Fortress, the most common enemy you're going to fight is the man serpents. They come in two variants. One is just this snake-looking dude with a sword. And then the other variant are these spellcasters that will shoot lightning at you, and they also have daggers. So that's pretty much the majority of the enemies that you will find in Sen's Fortress itself. And the game teaches you that this place is full of traps right from the beginning. You can see there's this raised plate right there that if you walk on, bunch of arrows going to shoot towards you. So if you've played Elden Ring, very similar to the catacombs, where some of them have traps in a similar nature. So basically, the lesson you want to learn from Sen's Fortress is to just watch where you're stepping. So we're going to step around it for now because we're going to use it to our advantage with these man serpent enemies. We're going to bait them down. Boom, and there you go, that killed one of them. Ouch. Have any stamina there. Alright, so, yep, that's what you're dealing with here. They're not too difficult, but just like with the majority of enemies, if too many of them get around you, then they can be a pain. Alright, so here we are in the main room, where if you look down below, there's a bunch of stuff that you're able to do down there, and we'll get to that at some point. Actually, you know what? Might be better to just take care of that stuff right now. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's just do it right now. Okay, so first thing, if you want to explore this bottom area, I recommend dropping off right here to this left side. There's a little stairway here you can land on. Be careful, because there's a Titanite demon waiting here at the bottom. These guys suck to fight because they have really just awful hitboxes. So you can find them if you want to. I don't really recommend it. It's just better to move around them. But all the way at the top of this ladder takes us out to the front top portion of Sen's Fortress itself, where the giant who opened the gate from the cutscene after ringing the second bell of awakening is waiting for you. Hello? Alright, well, we're back after the game just crashed. Don't know what happened there. But yeah, so illusory wall here, just want to hit it. And this is what actually, takes you to the top. That drop down where the item is just takes you back to the entrance, so we'll be going there in a minute. Alright, so like I was saying, the giant here who opens Sen's Fortress after you ring the second bell of awakening is up here. Now, these giants might look intimidating, but they're really not that bad. Just try to stick around to their legs. Just don't get hit by any of their melee attacks. At one point, they will kind of go into like a frenzy of attacks. And you'll see that can be a little scary. But again, if you just stick around like behind them, they're pretty easy to take care of. Oh, he didn't even do the frenzy attack. And you are rewarded with a Titanite chunk. And then that's really all there is up here. So, alright, back down we go. Now we're going to go, like I said, there is that drop down that takes you back to the entrance, but before we do that, we're going to go all the way back down to the bottom again because there's some items that we can grab while we try to avoid the Titanite demons. which I never really come down here all that much anymore, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Ouch. So that's the other variant of the man serpents. Alright, we'll squeeze past this Titanite demon. Grab these items. Ouch. Again, I don't really take the time to fight those guys. They suck. You do get some good upgrade rewards from them, so if you want to take the time and you're in need of some weapon upgrade materials, go for it. But yeah, so that's all there is down at the bottom itself. Nothing crazy by any means. Now we've taken care of that, we'll progress to the rest of Sin's Fortress. So in this main room, there's that big bridge that's just spanning over the middle of it with these swinging axes going back and forth. This isn't the last time you'll see these, but just be patient, take your time while they're going through. Whoop. I don't believe there's anything up here. Yep. Okay. Next bridge here with the lightning serpent at the end. He can suck because he can do something like that. Ugh. Totally did that on purpose to show you, you know, how you can easily die in Sins. That was all intentional. Alright, let's try this again. Come on. So annoying. Usually he never really gives me any troubles, but man, that was terrible. Okay, right here you can see a chest, but be careful. There is this little platform here that will activate an arrow thing that will shoot straight towards you. So we'll step on it and move to the left. We'll always shoot 3. This is an actual chest. Good to open it. Although we are going to encounter our first mimic of the game in Sin's Fortress. Alright, so right here you could go down and take care of this guy, but there's nothing else for you to do, so we're going to leave him alone for now. Right here is one of the best moments of Dark Souls. This guy just gets absolutely rolled on by a boulder. And that's there is basically a teaching moment to show you, hey, there's a boulder rolling down these stairs, you gotta be careful. So just hide around this corner, wait for it to come down, and then head up. Now at the top you can see that snake man, but there is a entryway here that you can step off into for that next boulder. Now these variants can parry you. It's pretty rare if they ever do, but it can happen, so just be forewarned. Alright, another chest here. Ring of Steel Protection. Very good item that just raises your overall physical defense. Alright, now we're going to drop down for this item, and we're going to have our next encounter with Sigmar. And there you go. Just make sure to exhaust his dialogue. You can be an absolute jerk here and either backstab or like kick him off the edge, but Sigmar is our friend. We're not going to do that. Alright, back up we go. And then we're going to go through that fog wall that we saw up there. Okay. So in here is another trap. We're going to step on this and then just move backwards. Get out of the way. Oh, way too early on that one. Yikes. Okay, this next room you got a couple of options. So if you look up there, you'll see that the boulders are going to be coming down here now. But we can go about halfway. Oh, what? Oh, I forget it hits that wall. So give it some time to hit that wall and then move before you try to go out. There we go. About halfway up the stairs, there is a drop down point that you're able to go to. Right here. Then we can grab this item. Black Sorcerer set. And now you can come over here and there is an elevator. However, you want to be very careful. If you look at the top there are spikes. This elevator will just keep going up if you don't get this like drop down first and just slam you right into those spikes. So be very careful if you're using the elevator. We're not going to use it quite yet, although we are going to come up here, and this is where the boulders are falling down. And we are going to rotate it this way. You'll see the damage bar down there. That's because the boulder got sent down to where that snake was just like chilling up against the wall. So that's why we didn't go after him earlier, because we're going to let the boulders do our work. One more should do it. Boom. Okay, now we're going to rotate it again, just to make sure that it's not hitting us there. However, be forewarned, going down to where that snake was, if you think like, oh, we've got the boulders going out that way now, because the boulder is going to be pushed wherever, like the opposite side of wherever the handle itself is. So you'll see it gets hit out there. You'll probably think, oh, good to go, and come back up with no worries. But no, that thing moves on its own once you move past like a specific point. So once we start going back up, unfortunately, it's going to be in a position where it's trying to hit us again. Over here we can meet Big Hat Logan. He's going to ask us to rescue him, but we actually don't have... Oh, wait, no, the Master Key is good enough to rescue him. So talk to him, and then he'll say that he'll go back to Firelink Shrine. We'll see him a little bit later in the game. I believe it's this one that you need a specific key for if you don't have the Master Key. I guess it's for both of them. So, again, Master Key just comes super in handy as your starting gift. So, highly, highly recommend that you grab that. All right, on our way back up, unfortunately, we can't just go straight back up to where we were. We have to go around again like before. You can hear it rotating, because now it knows that we're over here, and that's why it's going to send them down this way. So again, be careful it doesn't stay where you put it. Alright, but we'll follow the boulder all the way down. Now in here is that elevator from before that takes you all the way back up to the top. So we're going to take that, but in a minute, because if you look down here, you'll see that there's this pit. Now this pit is able to get filled up with these boulders, and it will continue to do so, and at one point once it's full, another boulder will come straight over them and crash through that wall. So we're going to wait for it to do that. In the meantime, we're going to come in here because this is our first mimic. So if you didn't see my Dark Souls 3 walkthrough, there's a couple ways to tell if a chest is a mimic. The easiest way is this chain on the right side. If it's an actual chest, it will be like curled. Whereas if it's a mimic, the chain it will be pointing straight towards you. And you can see right now it's breathing. You can see it just move up and down a little bit. So those are typically the two best indicators to look for if a chest is a mimic. Let's go ahead and attack it from behind. Make sure it doesn't get an opportunity to hit us right from the beginning. And again, if this is your first Dark Souls game, if you open a mimic as if it was a normal chest, it will just pick you up and eat you. It's not necessarily a guaranteed kill, but depending on what level you are, it can be. Alright, so here we are. The wall is broken open. That gives us the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring, which raises your item discovery statistic. So if you're looking to farm stuff off of enemies with low drops, you know, get their weapons or anything like that, great item to... a great ring to put on to help with that. Okay, now we're going to wait for this elevator. And again, once it gets up there, we want to step off immediately so that we don't get smashed into the spikes. You can see the splattered blood on there. It's like even elevators are a trap in this place. It's just awful. But in all reality, I love this area. I think it's very cool and well designed. And then just for good measure, we're going to push this back out, going outside. Now, if you look outside, I'll wait for this boulder to go. You'll see this bridge with another man serpent back there. We're going to be able to get there, but not for a minute. So now that we've made it to the top, we're going to come to this little hallway. You'll see another pressure plate here and these holes along the wall. If you hit that and you keep going, a bunch of arrows are going to come out and hit you. So we're just going to step on it, step back, and there we go. Alrighty, one more big bridge to cross. Well, actually a couple more. These ones are all super close together, so you just want to be able to run past all of them at the same time. There's a couple of serpents in this area. One of them is hiding back there in that little hallway. We're going to bait this guy out first, though. Make sure the other one didn't follow us. Perfect. Alright, now we'll take care of this lightning one. The other one's going to be falling behind. Ooh, we just got our shield up in time for that. Don't like fighting him in those tight hallways like that, so to bring him down here. Perfect. Okay, another bridge to cross here. This one's a bit longer. There's also a lightning one on the side there. So we'll let him throw. Perfect. Stop midway point here. Okay. Now watch out, there's a pressure plate right there, so we'll avoid those arrows. Come over here and take care of the serpent. And he'll fall all the way down. Cool. Alright, careful right here. You can fall down and that takes you pretty far, so we're going to avoid that. Alright, and then another pressure plate right here. So again, we're going to press that and go all the way up and to the side, and that will let us avoid it. Okay, as we go through this fog wall, we are now on the outside of Sen's Fortress. So I remember my first playthrough, getting out here felt like an absolute victory because it just felt so dark and scary in there the whole time and claustrophobic. So coming outside definitely felt like a victory. Okay, before we go up the steps to the left there, we can actually go down to an area down here where there are a couple of Baldur Knights. So let's get them up here in a little bit easier area to fight. Dude, what are you doing? Let's get old single parry for the kill. Oh, barely had enough HP. Maybe we'll switch to two-hand next time before we parry. I mean, before we riposte. Alright, one more over here around the corner. That should be enough. Alright, so here's a chest. You can see you got the little curled chain there that indicates that it's real, not a mimic. Get the flamestone plate ring. Alright, now we can make our way up those stairs to the left. Now be careful, as you go up here, there's going to be a giant up. You can see him right there, right up the top there. He's going to be throwing these flaming boulders at you as you're moving around. So kind of the lesson is to not stand in one place. Just keep moving around and you'll be fine. But we're actually not going to advance through the level once we get up these stairs. There's going to be a little drop off to the right hand side. Once we get all the way up here, that takes you to a bonfire. Alright, and then since we have the humanity to spare, we're going to reverse our hollowing. And kindle this so we can get back up to 10 Estus. Perfect. Alright, and this takes us just back to this point. Drop down, back up the stairs. Now, with this giant, you can actually hear him when he's about to throw a boulder. You'll hear him go, whoo! Just like that. He is pretty slow in terms of like actually throwing the boulder, so like I said, as long as you're just moving, you should be fine. Alright, up over this bridge. Now, before we go to the right, we're actually going to attempt to jump over this part. Perfect. Where we can meet Tarkus. Wait, no, this isn't Tarkus. I can't remember his name. But he is a merchant. I was going to say his name. And from him... You can get Sigmar's set if you want. You can also get his armor set and the Balder set. And then he's got the Thunder Stone Plate Ring and Spell Stone Plate Ring. So he's got a pretty good inventory. We're not going to buy anything because, at least for my playstyle, none of that stuff is really very important to me. Now we'll come back down all the way these stairs. And here is that bridge that I pointed out before with the lightning serpent. We can grab this item, which is the cage key. So if you hadn't had the master key, that's what you would need in order to rescue Big Hat Logan and then get that other item. So for any of you who picked a different starting gift, that is where you would get that key. Alright. Back over the bridge now. I also see another giant down there. You can actually jump to that part if you want to. I don't really care because this giant, he's the one who's dropping down the boulders that you can, send down like the alleyways and everything. But he respawns, so he's not really a vital one to kill. Right. And then you'd think there would be something over here, but it is a total debate. It's just the Balder Knight. So, not really sure why that's a thing. Alright, now here unlocks a shortcut if you've also got the cage key. So we'll use that. You step in, it will close, and then go down. If you wanted to get back like all the way to Andre in a quick amount of time, then this is the perfect shortcut to use. We don't really need Andre. I think we're good with what we've got, at least for now. Keep forgetting about that lightning serpent. Come on, dude. Oh, too early. Man, just do an attack I know. Man, he's being obnoxious. There we go. Alright. And then we'll go back in. This will close. All the way back up, and the other cage will come down at the same time. And here we are. Alright, continuing on. Alright, a little bit of a narrow walkway. Let's make our way around here. There's a Balder Knight who has a crossbow. He's going to be shooting at you. Oops, wrong button. Grab the item. Nice. Okay. Now, right here is the boss of this area. Iron Golem. You can actually look out the window and see him. He looks really scary. He's really not that bad. But before we fight him, a couple things I want to do real quick. First is come up to the top here, and we have the opportunity to kill the giant who's throwing the flaming boulders. Oh, that's the crazy attack. He did it very early. After he does it, he gets exhausted and just opens you up for a lot of attacks. So we actually really like that attack. And there we go. If you don't kill him before the boss fight, he will be throwing those flaming boulders in the boss arena, which is just a big old pain in the butt. So I always take the time to kill him there. Alright, now if you come out here, over into this building, if you are human, summon sign is going to appear for Iron Tarkus. This guy is an absolute beast. If you are struggling with this boss, he can straight up solo Iron Golem. He's just absolutely insane. So if you're like, I hate this boss, I'm struggling, I can't get him, by all means, take advantage and get Iron Tarkus on your side. Alright, one more thing to do before we continue on. Alright, we're going to drop back down to that point right there. Okay, we got a Baronic Knight over here. The reason I didn't do this earlier is I like, again, to kill that giant throwing the boulders, because he can throw them as far as over here, and it's just obnoxious. No healing for you. Okay, then over here is a ladder we can go down. Now, up in this little watchtower is going to be a guy named Ricard, who he's going to be starting out by shooting arrows at you from the top of these steps. You see him right in there. And he's also got a buckler and a rapier. So he can parry you, and he's very quick with that rapier, so he can be a little obnoxious to fight. But you can easily cheese him. You can, like, from right here, he'll try to shoot arrows at you, but if you're quick enough and you get a bow out with some poison arrows, you can just shoot him a few times, and then he'll just constantly take damage. Alright, so now he's got his rapier out. And it's very quick, so it's tough to try to parry. So usually just wait for him to attack. Ouch. Nice. Broken posture there. Barely any health left. There we go. And I believe he drops his rapier. Yep, Ricard's rapier. Perfect. And then up here, just a couple things. Divine Blessing. And rare ring of sacrifice. Alright, we have now cleared out all of Sen's Fortress, so it is time to take on Iron Golem. Iron Golem is one of the few bosses in the Souls games where the design is essentially you're not going to be doing a lot of damage to him normally, but the idea is to attack his legs and bring him down for higher opportunity of attack. It's not exactly the same as like the Tower Knight where you're doing like no damage, but you bring him down and you can go attack his head for crazy damage. But you do have the opportunity if you can knock him down next to a ledge. He does have the opportunity to just fall off and insta-die. So I'm usually not very good at getting that to happen, but it is a possibility. Okay, as you enter, he's going to start out the fight with a ranged attack. He's going to swing his axe and whoop. So just watch out for that. Okay, and then the fight from here is pretty much just going for his legs. Watch out for the stops. Watch out for that grab too. He can easily just toss you off. Uh-oh. Speak of the devil. I think we should be good. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that grab is pretty scary because it can be pretty easy for him to just yeet you off the edge. Alright, there's a bit of a stagger from him. Means we're getting close to knocking him off. There he goes, and he's falling down. So, if he's standing, like, right next to the edge there, that's where he's able to just fall off. So, it does require some positioning to get that to happen, but it is possible. But, if that doesn't happen, when he is staggered, when he's down like that, it just gives you a lot of opportunities to attack. No grabbies. Oh, he almost just backstepped off the edge. Uh-oh. Don't kill me. Okay, good. Luckily we were facing towards the arena. Alright, just a couple more hits and we should be good. Oh, one more hit. There we go. And that is the Iron Golem. Alright. Now, from here you can see that you can come up here and... Oh, this whole archway is just blocked off, completely caved in. This is the original entrance to Anor Londo, but it was blocked off, so now it's like, okay, how do we get up there? You can see the Spring of Light. If you walk up to it, there will be a prompt to examine it. This will play a cutscene, which I'm actually going to let this one play because this is one of the coolest reveals in all the Souls games. Because up to this point, everything has just been, you know, like the name kind of implies, it's Dark Souls. Every area is kind of pretty dark and gross. And, you know, we went through the depths and Blight Town and all this awful, crappy, just grimy places. And so this moment when we get to see Anor Londo for the first time is just amazing. So freaking cool. And here we are, Anor Londo. Alright, well that's where we'll call this episode. So, if you do want to go back to Sen's Fortress, you can just come here and talk to the same gargoyles who brought you up, and they'll just take you back down to that part. But yeah, so that's it for this episode. Very, very excited for the next episode, getting into Anor Londo itself. Easily my favorite area of the game and one of my favorite bosses of the game. One of the more infamous bosses of the Dark Souls series for sure, but really, really looking forward to experiencing that and, Yeah, so that's where we'll call it here. If you watch this video, I appreciate you stopping by. Liking and subscribing always goes a long way, so if you can, please do. But otherwise, that is it for this episode. We will see you in episode 9.